Could you imagine a world where humanity never ceased its nomadic wandering across the vast, untamed wilderness of our ancient planet? This pivotal transformation stands as the very first entry in our monumental series, the World Top 100 Events that fundamentally altered human existence. Welcome to a comprehensive exploration regarding the agricultural revolution, an extraordinary period defining the actual genesis of organized society and permanent settlements. I am standing here amidst the cradle of civilization to guide you through this incredible journey into our collective ancestors' profound legacy. This event marks the definitive beginning of everything we recognize as modern life today, from cities to complex economies. This monumental shift allowed our species to transition from mere survival to flourishing development across the globe. Today, we delve into the intricate details of how seeds and soil changed our destiny forever. We will examine the evidence, the data, and the vivid reality of this ancient transformation. Join me as we step back 12,000 years into the dawn of a new era for all mankind. This is the moment when the first seeds were planted and our history truly began to unfold with unprecedented momentum. Let us begin this epic exploration of the greatest revolution in human history together. The geographic theater for this world-altering drama was primarily centered within the region famously known as the Fertile Crescent. This vast, crescent-shaped territory stretched from the shores of the Persian Gulf up through the modern-day Middle East towards the Mediterranean Sea. Two great rivers, the Tigris and the Euphrates, provided the life-giving moisture that transformed these arid plains into productive alluvial basins. Diverse microclimates within this zone offered a unique variety of wild plant and animal species that were ripe for human intervention. We observed the rugged Taurus Mountains to the north and the vast Arabian Desert to the south, creating a protected haven for innovation. The environmental conditions following the last glacial period were exceptionally favorable for the proliferation of nutritious wild cereal grains. Scholars have meticulously mapped these ancient landscapes to understand exactly why this specific location became the birthplace of farming. The soil quality was remarkably rich, deposited by seasonal flooding that replenished essential nutrients across the sprawling valleys. Navigating these waterways allowed early groups to communicate. Every valley and hilltop within this cradle of civilization played a distinct role in the early experimentation with plant cultivation. The strategic positioning of these early settlements ensured access to both water and fertile land for the expanding population. Detailed geographic analysis reveals how these natural boundaries shaped expansion. The interaction between climate and topography created the perfect conditions for a species ready to settle and flourish for the future. We can visualize the ancient landscape as a tapestry of potential, waiting for the first touch of human ingenuity to transform it forever. Every stream and mountain pass held the secrets of a sustainable future for the groups that learned to harness their power effectively. The unique positioning of the Levant and Mesopotamia offered a gateway to global influence that would endure for many millennia. Analysis of soil samples from thousands of years ago confirms the incredible productivity that supported the first urban centers of our world. We are standing on the very ground where the concept of home and territory first began to take deep and permanent roots in history. This geographic foundation is the essential starting point for any serious investigation regarding the agricultural revolution's global impact. Experience the sheer majesty of the rivers that once sustained the pioneers of our collective human story across the vast and ancient horizon. As the final great ice age gradually receded approximately 12,000 years ago, the global climate underwent a significant and lasting transformation. Rising temperatures caused the massive glaciers to retreat northward, opening up vast new territories for biological exploration and human migration across the planet. This warming trend created a more stable environment where reliable seasonal patterns began to emerge across the northern hemisphere. Hunter-gatherer bands, which had lived nomadic existences for hundreds of thousands of years, found themselves in a changing world of plenty. Abundance encouraged groups to stay longer. Historical data suggests that the Natufian culture was among the first to experiment with semi-sedentary lifestyles within the Levant region. We see evidence of increasingly sophisticated stone tools designed specifically for harvesting and processing wild grains found in the environment. These ancient pioneers were not merely reacting. Archaeological records indicate a steady increase in population density as food security became more predictable during these warmer centuries. We observe the remnants of early stone-walled structures that provided protection from the elements and a sense of permanent community. This period represents a critical bridge. Rising temperatures caused the massive glaciers to retreat northward, opening up vast new territories for biological exploration and human migration. This warming trend created a more stable environment where reliable seasonal patterns began to emerge across the northern hemisphere. Hunter-gatherer bands, which had lived nomadic existences for hundreds of thousands of years, found themselves in a changing world of plenty. The abundance of wild resources encouraged these groups to stay in specific regions for longer durations than ever previously recorded. The transition from a purely mobile life to a more settled existence was a gradual process spanning several dozen generations. Archaeological records indicate a steady increase in population density as food security became more predictable during these warmer centuries. We observe the remnants of early stone-walled structures that provided protection from the elements and a sense of permanent community. This period represents a critical bridge between the Paleolithic era of wandering and the Neolithic age of structured farming societies. Every artifact recovered from this era tells a story of adaptation, resilience, and the relentless human drive for improvement. The historical context reveals a species on the brink of a radical breakthrough that would redefine their relationship with nature. We can vividly imagine the discussions around ancient hearths as these early humans shared knowledge about plant growth and animal behavior. This foundational history is essential for recognizing the magnitude of the changes that were about to unfold across the Fertile Crescent. The sheer scale of the climatic shift provided the necessary catalyst for humanity to embark on this unprecedented social experiment. Understanding this historical backdrop allows us to appreciate the bravery and ingenuity of our ancestors as they faced an uncertain future. These early steps toward domestication were the result of countless observations and small successes accumulated over a vast period of time. The legacy of these ancient wanderers is written in the very soil and stones of the sites they once called home. Witness the struggle and triumph of a species learning to master the biological rhythms of the planet for the first time in existence. Every archaeological discovery provides a window into the daily lives and aspirations of those who dared to settle and build. The historical records confirm a steady and irreversible move toward the complexities of civilization that we often take for granted today. Consider the immense patience required to witness the slow evolution of seeds into the staple crops that now feed our population. The history of the agricultural revolution is the history of human perseverance against the unpredictable forces of the natural environment. We are the direct heirs to the wisdom and labor of those who first broke the ground and planted. This historical narrative is the backbone of our understanding regarding how we became a species that builds and preserves its heritage. Experience the echoes of the past as we walk through the ruins and landscapes that once witnessed farming. The transition was not just a technical change, but a fundamental shift in the human spirit and our collective imagination for the future. Every step taken by our ancestors brought us closer to the interconnected world we inhabit in the present. Imagine the awe of the first humans who realized they could control the growth of plants to secure their communal survival forever. This historical insight is the key to unlocking the true meaning of the revolution that transformed our world. Every step taken by our ancestors brought us closer to the sophisticated and interconnected world we inhabit in the 21st century. This historical insight is the key to unlocking the true meaning of the revolution that transformed our world and our identity. The primary characteristic of this revolution was the intentional and systematic domestication of various plant and animal species for human use. humans began to select specific seeds from wild grasses like emmer wheat and barley based on their size and ease of harvesting. Genetic manipulation was genius. Simultaneously, the taming of wild sheep, goats, and pigs provided a consistent source of protein and other essential raw materials. These animals were integrated into human settlements, offering labor for the fields and waste products that could be used for fertilizer. We observe specialized tools development. The creation of pottery allowed for the secure storage of surplus food, protecting it from moisture and scavenging pests over long periods. This surplus was the lifeblood of the new society, enabling people to plan for future seasons and withstand unexpected shortages. Every aspect was redefined. This genetic manipulation was a stroke of genius that allowed for the production of a reliable and predictable food supply. Simultaneously, the taming of wild sheep, goats, and pigs provided a consistent source of protein. These animals were integrated into human settlements, offering labor for the fields and waste products that could be used for fertilizer. We observed the development of specialized tools such as flint-edge sickles. And heavy stone mortars for grinding the harvested grain. Every success in the field led to further experimentation with new crop varieties. Heavy stone mortars were essential for processing the life-giving grain. This mastery over biological processes allowed for a level of stability previously unimaginable for our nomadic ancestors in the wild. Every aspect of daily life was redefined by the demands of the agricultural calendar, from planting in the spring to harvesting in autumn. The relationship between humans and environment shifted to stewardship. The social context of the agricultural revolution involved a radical reorganization of human communities into permanent settlements and complex hierarchies. As food production became centralized, people began to live in larger, more densely populated villages that evolved into cities. We observed the emergence of specialized roles within these communities, as not everyone was required to work directly in the fields anymore. Craftsmen, builders, and spiritual leaders began to appear, contributing their unique skills to the growth and stability of the town. This led to development. Archaeological evidence reveals differences in burial practices and house sizes, indicating a clear move away from egalitarianism. The need to manage grain surpluses and coordinate large-scale labor projects like irrigation gave rise to early administrative systems and leadership. Craftsmen, builders, and spiritual leaders began to appear, contributing their unique skills to the growth and stability of the town. This division of labor led to the development of social classes based on wealth and skill. The need to manage grain surpluses and coordinate large-scale labor projects gave rise to early administrative systems and leadership. Leaders emerged to settle disputes and manage the distribution of resources. We see the beginnings of formal property rights as families and groups claimed specific plots of land for their own cultivation. This sense of ownership significantly influenced human psychology and interaction. The social contract was rewritten to emphasize cooperation, stability, and the long-term preservation of the community's agricultural assets. Every settlement became a hub of cultural exchange and new ideas. As food production became centralized, people began to live in larger, more densely populated villages that eventually evolved into the first cities. This shift necessitated new social rules and traditions. Burial practices and house sizes indicate a clear move away from egalitarianism. The social contract was rewritten to emphasize cooperation, stability, and long-term preservation of communal assets for everyone. The need to coordinate large-scale labor projects like irrigation gave rise to early administrative systems and leadership. Leaders emerged to settle disputes and manage distribution of scarce resources. Economic systems became increasingly complex, with the agricultural surplus acting as the first form of capital. Understanding this social evolution is key to grasping the origins of our current political systems. Our understanding of this incredible era is grounded in rigorous archaeological evidence and precise scientific data collected over many decades of research. Modern excavators have meticulously uncovered sites like Jericho, Catalhoyuk, and Göbekli Tepe, providing a wealth of information about ancient life and practices. Analysis of carbonized seeds through radiocarbon dating allows us to pinpoint the exact timing of when specific crops were first domesticated. We can observe the subtle morphological changes in ancient animal bones that indicate a shift from wild hunting to managed husbandry. Isotopic analysis reveals health patterns. Modern excavators have meticulously uncovered sites like Jericho, Catalhoyuk, and Göbekli Tepe, providing a wealth of information. We can observe morphological changes in ancient animal bones indicating managed husbandry. Isotopic analysis of human skeletal remains reveals detailed information about the diet, health, and migration patterns of early farming populations. This data shows a clear increase in carbohydrate consumption patterns. Archaeologists have also found extensive evidence of grain silos and specialized grinding stones that confirm large-scale food processing. The volume of pottery shards recovered illustrates the rapid expansion of technology. Every layer of soil at an excavation site acts as a chronological record of human innovation and environmental adaptation over time. We see detailed maps of early settlement layouts showing sophisticated urban planning. Scientific studies regarding the genetic diversity of modern crops trace their ancestry back to these original wild varieties from the Levant. This mountain of evidence confirms that the transition was a deliberate strategy. Archaeologists have uncovered sites like Jericho and Catalhoyuk, providing a wealth of information about ancient life. Every layer of soil acts as a chronological record of human innovation over time. Isotopic analysis of human skeletal remains reveals detailed information about the diet and health of early farming populations. This data shows a clear increase in carbohydrate consumption across history. Imagine the golden fields of ripened grain waving in the warm breeze as dozens of workers move in synchronized harmony during harvest. The air is filled with the rhythmic sound of flint sickles and joyful chatter. In the center, a vibrant marketplace emerged. As the sun begins to set, the long shadows of the village walls stretch across the dusty paths where people are returning. The aroma of freshly baked bread wafts from communal ovens, signaling the successful transformation of labor into sustenance. Elders gather around. The need to track grain surpluses and trade transactions led to the development of the first symbolic recording systems in writing. These early marks on clay tablets were the seeds of literature, law, and history that would define every subsequent civilization on Earth. Children played amidst the stone houses while their parents were busy with the endless tasks of maintaining the new society. Every face tells a story of hard work, ingenuity, and quiet satisfaction today. During special festivals, the community gathers to celebrate the bounty of the earth with music, dance, and elaborate rituals of gratitude. We can almost feel the heat of the sun on our skin. The vividness of their experience is captured in the artifacts they left behind and the landscapes they permanently transformed. We witness the birth of traditions that would endure for many generations to come. This immersive look into their lives allows us to connect with our ancestors on a deeply personal and emotional level today. The sounds and sights of the ancient village bring the story to life. Imagine the golden fields waving in the breeze as dozens of workers harvest grain. In the center of the village, a vibrant marketplace has emerged where people exchange surplus grain for tools and pottery. During special festivals, the community gathers to celebrate the bounty of the earth with music, dance, and elaborate rituals of gratitude. We can almost feel the heat of the sun on our skin. Every face tells a story of hard work, ingenuity, and the quiet satisfaction of a reliable food supply. These people were living, breathing individuals who faced challenges with courage and creativity. The long-term technological and social impact was a total transformation of the human experience globally. Innovations in irrigation allowed communities to expand their fields far beyond natural floodplains. We see the emergence of early metallurgy as people experimented with copper and bronze for durable tools. We see the emergence of early metallurgy as people began to experiment with copper and bronze to create more durable tools. The surplus wealth allowed for the construction of monumental and enduring architecture. This wealth allowed for the construction of monumental architecture, from defensive walls to towering temples that dominated the ancient skyline. We observed the rise of powerful empires that projected influence widely. Innovations in irrigation allowed communities to expand their fields far beyond the natural floodplains of the great rivers. We can see the echoes of the first irrigation canals in our infrastructure. Every aspect of our modern world, from our cities to our global economy, can trace its origins back to these early innovations. We are the heirs to a legacy of ingenuity and adaptation. The revolution was the catalyst that propelled humanity out of the Stone Age and into the complex world of civilization. Understanding this profound impact is essential for appreciating our incredible human journey. Surplus wealth allowed for the construction of monumental architecture, from defensive walls to towering temples that dominated the skyline. We observe the rise of powerful empires projecting influence widely. Metallurgy emerged as people experimented with copper and bronze to create durable tools. Organized militaries formed to protect valuable land and resources of the early states across the Fertile Crescent. Every aspect of our modern world can trace its origins back to these early innovations. The revolution was the spark that ignited human progress, which continues to burn brightly across our planet today. In summary, the agricultural revolution stands as the most fundamental turning point in the entire history of the human race since our origins. It was a multifaceted transformation involving geographic luck, historical timing, technical ingenuity, and radical social reorganization for the benefit of all the global population. Every city we live in and every technology we use is a testament to the success of this ancient social experiment. The agricultural revolution is not just a chapter in a history book, but the living story of how we became who we are today. We honor the legacy forever. We carry the lessons of the first farmers with us, recognizing the importance of stewardship and innovation. The agricultural revolution is the living story of how we became who we are today in civilization. The legacy of the first farms is etched into the very soil of our planet and the collective memory of all humanity forever. Let us never forget the incredible journey from the wilderness. Experience the incredible scope of human achievement through the lens of history and the data that confirms our species' unique capabilities. We are part of a global community rooted in these achievements. This comprehensive exploration has only scratched the surface of the profound changes that occurred during those pivotal millennia. Thank you for participating in this investigation into the most important event in history. Let us move forward with the wisdom and courage of the first farmers who built the world we inhabit. This concludes our deep dive into the agricultural revolution and its enduring global legacy. In summary, the agricultural revolution is not just a chapter in a book, but the living story of how we became who we are today. We honor the legacy of those who first farmed. Thank you for joining us for this investigation into the most important event in history. Let us move forward with the wisdom and courage of the first farmers who built the world. This concludes our journey into the origins of human civilization and the remarkable legacy of the agricultural revolution. We sincerely thank you for joining us for this epic documentary as part of our special series on history's greatest events. Your support allows us to continue bringing these vital stories to life with the depth and detail they truly deserve today. We look forward to seeing you in our next episode as we explore the next chapter of our incredible human story together. Please remember to subscribe and like this video to stay updated on our latest historical explorations and insights here. 구독과 좋아요를 눌러주세요. 감사합니다. We hope this deep dive has provided you with a new perspective regarding the foundations of our modern world and our shared future. Until we meet again in the next installment of the World Top 100 Events series, may your journey be filled with discovery and wonder. Have a wonderful day ahead as you reflect on the incredible legacy of those who first farmed the earth for us all. Goodbye, and see you soon for more fascinating investigations into our collective past and the stories that define us as humans today.